this day that's coming up, Mother's Day, is the most important day in the entire year, especially between mother and son. There is a bond there that can't be explained unless you have a son and realize how that goes and how important all of it is. So congratulations on all the wonderful things that you've done with your son, and the fact that he's playing in the NBA is just a wonderful thing. But going back to it, somebody has to be around to sort of bring him through all that.
Being a mom that played at Morgan State University, shout out to the HBCU, go Bears.
Absolutely.
Yes, I did. I coached his rec teams. That was a complete pleasure. Some moms are the mom that carries the water and the snacks, but I got to be the mom that was, working with the kids out on the court and going into the practices and helping them, fine tune their skills and learn the fundamentals, so that was just a joy.
So my goal was to get my children to college. That was it. And basketball was that avenue. And he was great at basketball, but he wasn't great in the classroom. So that year of prep school, he matured. He knew what he wanted. He was able to see what his body was capable of. So he set his mind to it. And I said, Mom, I need your help when it comes to schoolwork, but I want to do what I have to do because I'm going to the NBA.
You're an athlete yourself, right?
Yes. I was never as good as Julius. Actually, when I started playing basketball, I was kind of like tripping over lint. And tallest player on the team. And when I got to high school, I was not going to play. And the coach saw me and he was like, why aren't you playing basketball? And I'm like, I don't want anybody laughing at me. And he was like, I promise I'll work with you really hard. So he had to talk my parents into it. And he kept his word. He worked with me really hard and I listened, and I ended up making varsity my sophomore year. And then when I graduated, I was the only one getting a scholarship.
You talked about the confidence, and yes, it begins at home. We play a lot of board games, and one of RJ's favorite board game is Uno. So he takes it so seriously that he went and bought a trophy and ribbons for first place, second place, and third place. But in it's so competitive because we're competing, we're laughing. That's RJ loved to laugh. We'll laugh all the time, but it's serious at the same time because we're competing to win. So in that, from he was growing up, we would play board games and he just loves it. So till today, he's in the NBA when he's off, to relax, to play games and laugh. And so it's competition started from the home, and having a lot of athletes, like his dad played basketball and I ran track, as you mentioned. It's just, it's always been something in the home that we developed, so.
When you watch him play, does it ever take you back to the time where you used to take him out and just wear him out? You were 6'2", he was little. You said you used to bounce him around and he'd get all mad and jump up to you. Think about those things?
Yes. When he was a small kid, shorter than me, I was able to beat up on him, but his kids his age, he was taller than them. So when I started him playing in kindergarten, I knew he couldn't play at his level, his age level, because he was just beating up on kids and not being able to get to that next level. So I always played him up, but I would take him to the gym with his best friend, and I'm throwing hook shots and I'm knocking him down, and but it was to teach him, that this is gonna happen, accept the contact and keep going. And he would get so mad. And one day we were at the rec playing and we were beating him and his friend, and I threw the ball to his sister and he went over to her and he blocked her shot and he just knocked her down. He's breathing all hard. Julius, what is wrong with you? This your sister. He's like, I don't like to lose. Okay, then you go figure out what you need to do to be able to win.
When he was 6 years old, My husband played professional basketball, and so he would play against the older boys. And for me, the first time I saw him play against the older boys, he was dominating. And I said, wow, he's really taking this game serious.
Well, I think he was confident when he first started playing.
Yeah.
Like, he was 4 years old, sneaking in the 5 and 6-year-old team, playing in games. And he was making baskets on regular rims. And he had the confidence that was like, this kid's pretty good.
Yeah, I've always thought that the major things that you learn in sports are the things that help you in your life. And that's how to pick yourself off the floor, how to keep staying at it, to stick with it, to have that never say die attitude, and nobody else can tell you more than what you know inside your heart. And when you learn those lessons, they work for you for the rest of your life. Even when you stop playing basketball, there's still going to be ups and downs, but you learn how to get through them and get on to the next one.
Well, failure just makes you, in order to be successful, you have to fail.
Yes.
So when you don't excel in something at first, you try again, and you keep trying until you attain it. And for us, we go to prayer. We pray a lot. And so whenever he's going through something, I say, son, pray, So he knew, because we're a family of faith, and he knew this is, all I have to do is just pray and keep moving. Because if I keep moving one step at a time, I'm going to get to my destination. So he knew failure is just part of your journey.
Absolutely. The lessons that we learn, the lessons that I've tried to instill in him, be grounded in your faith. Don't let anyone steal your confidence. You have to be your own cheerleader, so knowing some of those things and embracing some of those lessons just allows us to see the manifestation and the fruit of what he believes about himself.
Exactly. I didn't have it at first, and basketball gave me that, where I didn't have maybe, friends or in that in group at first, basketball, me and excelling at it brought the confidence to me. And I instilled that in Julius to never give up. If it's something that's going wrong in your game, I always text him after every game, win or lose. And especially if they lose, I said, hold your head up. Hold your head up. You have nothing to look down at. Just go in the gym and work really hard and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and believe in your teammates, and that'll take you where you want to go.
Sports, I think, makes people better people for the world. Like, it teaches you how to be a team player. People are less selfish when they're on a team. They know how to work together. They know how to solve problems and get through things without saying, no, forget it. We can't do it. You have to do it. You have no choice. So everybody has to work together. That's the only way you'll be successful.
He is one of the greatest teammates that I've ever seen, and a guy that brings it every single night. And one of the things that I want to mention is, in life, the fact that him coming to the New York Knicks, which is maybe one of the toughest cities in the world to play in, because there's so much demanded of you. They're expecting something, and that if they don't get that, then they're going to give you, I look at it this. Here's a guy that went from a year ago getting booed to now getting chance of MVP. The normal guy doesn't do that, because it either makes you or it breaks you.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? When he went for the interview, trying to decide what team he wanted, it was automatically New York. And his agent, he called me and he said, I talked to him about New York and the fans, they don't play around and stuff, you're gonna, have to give it, your all and stuff. And he was aware of everything, and he still wanted to go there. He wanted to give New York back that happiness, something to cheer for. And last year was rough. It was rough for me as a mom to hear them booing him, you know, and I'm a comment reader. Julius is not. And I'm reading all the things that they're saying about my son, and it's breaking my heart, you know, but I never talked about it to Julius. I just, you know, got with him and just, you know, try to uplift him and tell him, you know, remember, you know, the hard work that you put in is there. Don't give up. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna all come together. And the most important thing is praying. You know, we come from a church family, a praying family. Julius was a junior usher at church, you know, reading our Bible that what God has for you, no one can take from you. Just keep working.
I love New York, so it's my home. So I can go on for days talking about times there, and that's why I started to say it's more than just him in the NBA playing there. It is history. Yes. And watching him there, it means a lot.
We trained Immanuel to, you know, you have to celebrate other people. No one is going to steal what is for you. What God has for you is for you. You need to learn to celebrate others because your time is coming. And no one can take away what is for you. So learn to celebrate others.
What kind of mom are you watching the games? Are you intense? Are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you confident? You know, how do you feel sitting there?
I would say mostly confident, but when the games do get intense, I pray. I'm always praying. And then sometimes the fans around, they're like, okay, you know, because they know where we sit when we did attend the games, and they're like, okay, there she goes, she's praying. Whether I'm at Motherhood Academy or I'm at Duke University or the Gardens, I'm praying at the end of the game when it gets intense, and Dad just sits and just watch the game.
I'm intense to the 100th power, but he tells me that I can't yell because there's not so many people at the Garden. And Big O, his dad, yesterday, he's like, why aren't you jumping up? When he made one of the dunks, he like jumped up. I was like, because he told me I can't react. So I'm trying so hard just to clap.
I'm nervous before every game, and especially now because we're in the 4th spot. We're so close to bringing New York to that playoff game. And I'm sitting on my ottoman right in front of the TV, you know, and I'm watching everything. And I'm going like, okay, go on and shoot the ball. Okay, pass the ball. Julius, why did you do that? You know, just talking to the TV. And then there's time that I'm so frustrated I have to mute the TV and walk away. Because I don't want to hear the commentators talking, and then I'm coming back. And then, you know, when we win, you know, I'll text him after the game, okay, great game, you know, let's go, let's get it, you know. It's exciting. It's exciting to see that he reached his dream.
It's such a beautiful thing for a child to have a dream and to be the person that helps him attain that dream. And at every single level, to be able to be there for him. And because everybody dreams. A lot of people have targets they want to hit, but they don't know where to aim. You know, so sometimes when you have a kid, if you had a chance to watch him grow at every single thing and watch him develop into this great player that he is now, how does that make you feel?
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of the man he is, the humbleness, the gratefulness that he has in his heart, and how he is so good to people. Like he's come so long, so far, and like he knows where he came from. You know, we didn't have much with him growing up, and he knows where he came from. And him being in New York, and me really being here to experience all of his dream with him, I couldn't have planned this any better.
You not only have a wonderful basketball player, but a wonderful person.
Thank you so much. Just to hear you talk about RJ in that way, it just sum up who he is, and just when you love and support your children in their life and what they choose to do in life, it is it's a joy, pure joy, hearing the things that they do when you're not around.
Yes, I'm so proud of him. I couldn't be more proud of my son. You know, when you have a kid, you never know how they're going to turn out. And I'm glad he listened, and he turned out to be this wonderful man, accomplishing his dreams. And I could talk about basketball, Julius, all day long, but it doesn't compare to the type of father that he is. That'll carry him far than what basketball will, because Kylie will remember how his dad was with him. People, as time goes on, will forget basketball stuff, but your family will never get how you make them feel.
Well, let me be the first. I probably won't be the first to say Happy Mother's Day, but so glad to meet you and so glad to have this conversation. And boy, the sky's the limit.